Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we are back with another data analysis project. And the tool which we are going to use today is Python. So it will be a data analysis Python project, but we can also say that this will be used for data scientist people as well. So those who are doing either data scientist or data analysis, they can use this project for their both of these courses, right? Because Python is being used for both of these particular data analysis and data science courses. So you can use this particular project as your new one, which you can add in your resume, or you can add it in your portfolio as well. All right. So this will be a pizza sales analysis project. So the data which we are going to use in this particular project is added in the description box. So you just have to click on that particular link and you will be able to download this particular data. So the data which I have mentioned is in both the formats, that is in .csv format and .xlsx format, right? The reason being to add both the files is because whenever I add .csv files, the data types which I see in my particular laptop or my system, it is not same in yours. So that's the reason. Due to change in data type, I've added both the files, right? So if you use Excel file, there won't be the loss of the data or change in the format of the data, mostly for date column and the time column, right? Otherwise, you can use either of those, right? So you can use any of them. So first thing first, just go ahead and download the data and save it in the folder from where you can import that particular data. All right. So as I told, this is a pizza sales analysis project, and in this particular video, we are going to run each and every code which I will be writing or which you can see in this particular screen, right? So you can see we have wrote different codes, the different Python codes to get an specified output so that it can be used by the business owners. All right. So I have initially we are importing the data, then we are checking if the data is being imported correctly or not, if there is any uh, changes required or if any cleaning of the data is being required. After that, what we do is we are going to do some checks on the metadata, right? And then we are going to do some importing of, we are going to check the data types of those particular data if they are correctly imported or if they are not imported. Then we are going to do some KPIs, right? Nothing but key performance indicators that we are going to run so that at higher level how the business is performing, that is identified by using KPIs. So that also we are going to see in this particular video. After that, we are going to run different charts requirement, and charts might be in the form of grid or you can see in the form of a different visual representation charts also. So everything we are going to see in this particular entire video, you can see multiple charts are being run. And based on this chart, we are going to make different business decisions for the business users based on their business requirement document. All right. So this will be the complete exact code which we are going to run again into our this particular video, and we are going to find some insights and we are going to give it to our client, and based on that they will be doing this particular business decisions, right? So we also call this as an EDA project also, right? EDA Python project, where many people are asked to do this particular kind of project in different internships, as well as some of them are asked to write few codes in your scenario based interview questions as well. So this project will be a kind of project where you can add it in your resume. Also, you can add it in your portfolio also, right? It can be on GitHub or any other portfolio managing websites where you can, or which you are using. All right. So entire thing will be seen in this particular video. So first, let's go ahead and see what are the business requirement which are being provided for us by the business users, right? So, if you see this particular document which I have created, which shows different points regarding business requirement document, we also called it as BRD. So, based on different companies, they are using different terms and technologies in their company. We also call it as SOW sometimes, right? SOW is nothing but a statement of work, right? Also, we call it as FD, or we can also call it as functional documents. Sometimes FRDs, we also call it as functional requirement documents. And we just sometimes just call it as a work document, or we also call it as problem statements, or what are the requirements in general way also, right? So from company to company, the name of the document changes, but whatever will be there inside the document will be the same, which I am telling you. Sometimes it will come to you in the form of PPTs, or in the form of Jira tickets, or in the form of their own ticket management systems, right? So depends. Requirement can come through multiple channels or in multiple ways, but the work which will be done, or the code which you will be writing, it will be in the same way which you are going to write in this particular video. All right. So the first is project overview. You can read this everything, like what is the need of this particular project, right? And then what is the business objective, right? So whatever they want to do is they want to identify the overall revenue, the pizzas sold, and the total number of orders which are been done. All right. Then determine sales distribution by pizza category. All right. The size of the pizza and the type of the pizza, right? Also find out average order value, that is AOV, also called as AOE, and also find out average pizzas per order, right? So you know how this works. So whenever I will be explaining the data, I will share you what is mean by average order value and what is meant by average pizzas per order. Actually, it is just an English language also in this particular case, because once you read it, you will understand what is been said in this particular document, right? And nothing but we also have to provide visualization dashboard for effective decision makings, where different filters can be applied, and based on those filters different decisions or different outputs can be generated, and based on that outputs different business decisions can be taken. All right. Then we have to mention what is the source of the data we are using. So the data set we are going to use is pizzasales.csv, and it has these different fields available in those, right? So we won't spend much time. So these are just few fields which are there, which are important for us, but more than the fields are also available. I can say more fields are also available in the data for us, right? Then the first set of requirement which we have to identify is the key performance indicators. We also called it as KPIs. So as I told you, what do you mean by KPIs is that at higher level how the business is performing, right? And when I say at higher level, it is nothing but when you see at these particular figures, right, which are generated from their KPIs, the business owner or the stakeholders will come to know that in which direction their business is headed, right? So whether they are making profits or whether they are making losses in their business, they will understand all this particular. They will get the solution of all these particular things, right? And at higher level, they will just look at the numbers, and they will know if they have hit the target of that particular month, of that particular quarter, of that particular week, or of that entire completed year, right? So based on this, different analyses are done. So key performance indicators are very, very much important. And based on that, first thing that we have to analyze is the total revenue, right? Then total pizzas sold, right? So total revenue is nothing but sum of total price. Total pizza sold is nothing but the each quantity of, or we can say in each order there might be two or three pizzas that might be ordered, but we have to take sum of all the quantities which are being ordered regardless of how many number of orders are there. So those are nothing but total pizzas sold, and total order is nothing but in one order there might be two or three pizzas being sold, but instead of considering total pizzas sold, how many were the total orders that we have to identify. And after all these three are been identified, then what we have to do is we have to find out average order value, right? So average order value is nothing but total revenue divided by total orders, and average pizzas per order is nothing but total pizzas sold divided by total orders, right? So nothing but in one order, if there are two pizzas, then it is called as average order per pizza, right? So it depends. Some might be ordering three pizzas, four pizzas, one pizzas. So out of all of these orders, we have to identify what are the average orders, right? So that's how we are going to find out the key performance indicators, right? Then we are going to do some analysis and visualizations. That is nothing but we are going to do charts requirement over here. And as I told you, why we do the charts requirements, I've told this in our previous videos as well, that charts are required to analyze, because when you want to deep dive in the data and find out some patterns which are there, or different you can see different patterns that are responsible to get that particular analysis, or those particular um, I can say that results which are there. So why those results we are getting? So by analyzing different charts, analyzing different measures and different dimensions, we will get those particular things. All right. And the same thing we are going to do over here. And the first and the very important analysis that we are going to do is ingredient analysis, right? So why we are doing this? Because there are n kinds of pizzas being sold, right? And in those kinds of pizzas, different ingredients are being used. So we have to identify which is the top most 10 used ingredients by that particular pizza center, so that by identifying those ingredients, they will be able to manage those particular ingredients which will be used repetitively and number of times in each and every pizza, right? So let's say some use tomatoes, somewhere it will be used as chili flakes, somewhere we will be using garlic, and so likewise, right? So those particular ingredients we have to identify which are the most frequently used ingredients, so that they can manage their inventory based on that particular ingredient analysis. So this is very, very much important to do the ingredient analysis, right? Then we are going to identify the daily trend in a week, where we creating a line chart or a bar chart. And it is very much important to identify in a week, in that particular week, which are the busiest days, right? So from Monday to Sunday, which are the busiest days, where most and most pizzas are being ordered. So based on that, what that business or pizza owner shop can do, that he can manage his particular we can say manpower, and same as well as he can do different operations planning also, right? So this would be daily trend. Then we will deep dive more, and then we will identify the hourly trend also, right? So in a day, the pizza center, let's say, will be open from morning 11 to evening, let's say, or night 9 o'clock. So in this, all the working hours, which are the maximum, I can say, rush hours, right? So based on that, he can find out the rush hours, and in those particular rush hours, he can manage his own staffing as well, and he can manage his inventories in ingredients and keep everything ready, so that in that particular time frame of that particular day, he will be able to serve those particular orders without any hassle, right? So that's the reason hourly analysis is also important. Then we are also going to do monthly trend analysis also, right? So it will be helpful to identify different seasonalities and identify the peaks in that particular months, so that which particular seasons or which particular months are doing higher sales, which are doing lower sales. So based on that, he will be able to identify whether which campaign to run, which particular discount, or in which particular months he should run different discount codes and everything, right? So it will help him to identify the and grab those customers, and um, in such a way that increases sales, right? So that's what is important at the end. Then we are going to do percentage of sales by category, where we will be creating either a bar chart or we will be creating a donut chart, right? Similarly here also, we will be either creating a bar chart or a donut chart, right? So sales by pizza size and category, here also we are going to identify a donut chart based on the size and category, nothing but small, medium, large, and XL, right? So these are the things that we are going to analyze. Furthermore, we are going to analyze total pizzas sold by pizza category, right? So there are different categories of pizza available. So what are the total pizzas sold, right? Based on that category, so that it will be easy for managing the inventory of those size of the pizza and those category of the pizza, all right? Then next we are going to find out the top five best selling pizzas, and it will be by revenue, by quantity, and by sales, right? So it will be by sales also, by revenue also, and by quantity also. Same way we are going to do it the same for bottom five list selling pizzas, is nothing but Why we are doing this? Because when we identify the bestseller pizzas, we will be able to identify that which kind of pizza the people are ordering repetitively. And bottom five is nothing but, let's say there are five pizzas which are rarely sold, right? So based on those, they can manage their inventory so that the ingredients required for that kind of pizza, they can order it in low numbers, and that keep over there, right? And this kind of pizzas, they can also run some different discount codes so that the customers can, grab this kind of pizza more and more, right? So this kind of analysis are required in pizza shops, right? And next, what we are going to do is we are going to answer some business questions like what is total revenue generated, how many pizzas were sold in total, which kind of pizzas is performing best, which size of pizza is performing best. So these are some kind of questions that are required to be answered for this particular business owners and their stakeholders, right? And then what we have to deliver them is to deliver them a Jupyter notebook with complete analysis, right? So we will give in them all this. Then we have to show them all the visualizations. We have to give them all the PRDs and all the insights that are being generated from this particular project. So this is the deliverables that we have to provide them, and we also have to show them what is the conclusions and recommendations from our end, right? So we as a consultant, we as a developer, or we as an analyst, when we do this particular kind of projects, we also have to provide them some insights from our end, that what is your observation, what are your recommendations, that our business is lagging somewhere or it can be increased in different ways. So you also have to do some analysis at your end so that you can provide it to the business owners and to their stakeholders so that they can grow their business. All right. So you have to think in that way also, and we will be doing the same in this particular project also. All right. So this is a complete BRT that we have, that is nothing but business requirement document, on the basis of which we are going to design and complete this entire project. All right. Now, next we will see the data which we have.
Before moving into this particular project, I would like to discuss about my website. So on this particular website, there are different data analysis material, and with the latest edition, that is 2025, and there are so many projects in different data analysis tools. So the link of this particular website I've added in the description of this particular video. And here you can see there is a link which will help you to jump to this particular project, that is Power BI Advanced project. So this is also one website which I have created. So first I will discuss this. So and in this particular website, you can see there is a data analyst complete material 2025 edition. And when I click on this particular, you can see it contains this particular topics, right? Everything: statistics, Excel, data warehouse, SQL, Power BI, Tableau, Python, real-time projects are there in this. Soft skills, sample resume, 10 practice data sets on different domains are available. All interview questions. When I say all interview, it is related to everything, like level 1, level 2, level 3 scenario based interview questions of all the tools which are mentioned above, and client interview questions, HR interview questions. Then it also include different notes on different important topics, cheat sheets, and everything. And this entire package also include the notes as I discussed. It also have projects: Power BI 6 projects, Tableau 6 projects, Excel 4 projects, SQL. And in this also I have added Python. It is not mentioned, but Python 1 project is also there, and 10 practice raw data sets are also there. So here you can see the entire description is available for you to read, that what is included in this entire project. So you can read it. If you are interested, you can go ahead and buy this particular entire package. In similar way, I have also created this particular another, like Power BI projects are there. In this 19 are there, but I have added one more, that it will be 20 projects now. So there are 20 Power BI projects which you will get, and all those are mentioned over here. Here you can see the list of each and every project is available over here. You can actually see what dashboard you are going to get. So no just talking and just selling you anything else, but it is everything available over here. You can actually trust, my work on YouTube, how I create the projects and materials. So if you want individual also, like Tableau projects are there, Excel is there. and you can see some advanced Power BI projects are there. But let's say if you are not interested in complete package, you can go through the particular packages are also like I've separated those, like Power BI material is there, Tableau is there, SQL material is there, some different more projects are also available. And if you want some career guidance related to data analysis, mock interviews, so you can also book a session from here as well, right? And coming back to my another website, so for this particular dashboard, that is India General Elections, I have created an entire 6 hours of video, and it is just for 299 rupees, guys, right? And when I come to this website, I have added a discount code for you. So it is only valid this 17th May. It is a summer sale where you will get 44% discount on different data analysis material and projects. And you can use this particular code. And as I told, it is only valid till 17th of May, right? So after 17th of May, you won't be able to have this particular discount code. All right. So this is all about my website. The link of both the websites are available in the description box. And let me tell you, this is a certification course. So you can see it is a complete video, and you can read everything what you will be getting in this entire, project. So just to go ahead, read it. All the information is there. If you just like, by reading, if you think that it is worth, I'm sure, and I'm let me tell you that it is absolutely worth. So it's up to you. If you're interested, you can go ahead and buy from both of the websites, right? So now let's move ahead to our video.
So you can see this is the entire data that we have in our project. Right. So based on that, I will just try to help you what are the different things that we have over here. So I will just convert this particular thing into table format so it will be easy for us to read. So if you see first the number of you can say fields we have or number of columns we have over here is 12 columns we have in the data. And if you want to see the number of rows we have is it's 48,621. And if you delete one of the header, it will be 48,620 number of rows we have in the data. And let's see one by one what are the different columns we have in the data. So the first is the pizza ID, right? So this is nothing but an unique ID which is been given to each and every row over here, right? So if you see over here in this particular thing, each and every row gives us and or it help us to identify each and every pizza sold, right? So it may be one pizza, it may be two pizza, right? But it each and every row identifies the kind of pizza which is being sold in that particular order, right? You can see your order ID has been repeated. What does it mean that two is order ID? It means that in that one single order ID, five pizzas were being sold, right? So two is the order ID, same everywhere. So what kind of pin pizzas were being ordered in that particular order ID? So the data which is available in our analysis, each row in this particular data gives us an information of a single pizza sold, right? So this is pizza ID we have. Then order ID is nothing but in one single order ID, there might be multiple pizzas being sold. So you can see if it is repetitive, then you can see 9 is the order ID of that pizza. So it has been sold. So how many pizzas are being sold in this particular order ID? You can see 9 order. You can see count is 9. So similarly, if you see here, 6 is the order ID, it means two pizzas were being sold in this order, right? So this is how you identify the data and read the data. Okay, then this is the name of the ID, or we can say pizza name ID, right? So where they can give order soon or they can place the order so based on this particular pizza ID, whichever is required, right? Then what are the number of quantities that are being ordered? Then this is very straightforward. Then the date and which order was been placed. Then time of the order, nothing but at what time the order was been placed, right? Similar way, we will be also having an information of unit price, right? So unit price when multiplied with quantity will get us the total price. So total price is nothing but the entire order value over there, right? So that's very important for us. Then we have the pizza size, right? What is the size of pizza, whether it is large, medium, small, XL or double XL, right? Then we have pizza category. What is the pizza category? Whether it is a chicken pizza, nothing like but veggie, chicken, classic or supreme pizza, right? Then what are the ingredients used? Here you can see for that kind of pizza in that particular the ingredient list which you see over here, it is comma separated, right? So let's say for classic pizza, here you can see the different kinds of ingredients being used are pepperoni, mushrooms, red onions, red peppers and bacon, right? So these are the list of ingredients, and there are multiple ingredients, but those are comma separated in each and every pizza order, right? Then we have the name of the pizza which has been sold, right? Whether it is a classic deluxe pizza, five cheese pizza, Italian supreme pizza. Based on that, the pizzas, different name of the pizzas have been sold, right? So this is a very quick and easy data walkthrough because this is a very common topic, and everyone have ate pizza in their life once, so everybody knows what kind of pizza and what options are available and how to read the data, right? It's very straightforward, and based on that only we are going to do analysis of this entire thing in our project. So now let's move ahead and we will start our analysis. Okay guys, now let's start analysis in our Jupyter notebook. As I told you guys, you can do this analysis in Jupyter notebook as well, or you can do it in your any Python file, whichever. You can run the code and you can get an output, right? So some use Visual Basics also, where they have their Python libraries attached at their backend. But this is the easiest way to do it. For this, you have to just install the Anaconda, right? So this is an Anaconda navigator from where you can run your Jupyter notebook from here, and then you open this particular the local host network in your Python, or we can say in Chrome, and from there you can run all these queries, and then you will be able to understand this, right? So, and you'll be able to follow also. So from here, first what I will do, I will take a new notebook over here, and I will do the analysis from start to end, and then we can run everything in this particular notebook. Correct. So first thing first, what we have to do is we have to import the libraries in this particular notebook that we are going to use so that we can do the analysis. So we have to and do the import of libraries first, because instead, or if you do direct running of the queries, it will not run. So always import all the right libraries which are been required for our analysis. So first I will import those, and I will just use import. First I will import pandas. Okay, so I will use import pandas as PD, right? So what is import pandas as PD is nothing but pandas is a kind of library in Python which is used to work with a structured file which we are going to use in this particular project, that is nothing but a CSV file. If you want to do some processing of the data, if you want to do some cleaning on the data, if you want to identify what are the different size and metadata of the data that we are going to use, then pandas is required, right? So which is a very basic library which everyone should knows, right? Then once pandas is important, when we will also import numpy as well, and we will name it as np. So as is nothing but an alias, so that instead of writing complete a name in in codes further, we'll just give an alias that is nothing but a temporary name which will be used later in our code. So whenever I'll be writing pd dot np dot anything, so you should understand that whatever functions we will be writing, it will be used from that particular library, right? So we will import numpy also. Numpy is used actually for writing different numerical computing, or if there is any algebraic equations that we have to write. If you want to write different arrays, or if you want to play with the numbers aggregations, then numpy is required, right? Then we will also import matplotlib, right? So we will also import matplotlib, and in that we will import the pipeline, right? So, and we will name it as PLD, right? So this kind of matplotlib is required because if you want to create any 2D visualizations, right? If we want to add any legends to it, we want to add any data labels to it, then creating different 2D visualization like bar chart, pie chart, or donut chart, then matplotlib is required, right? Then we will also import Seaborn, right? So Seaborn is also been based on Matplotlib only. But if you want to do some advanced analysis in Seaborn, or you can say in Python, then Seaborn is required, which is used for advanced plotting. It can be also used for advanced charts like heat maps, tree maps, and all those, right? So then Seaborn is required, and we will name is an alias as SNS. Then we also import warnings, right? So we are going to import this kind of library because whatever warning message we will be getting, so let's say any errors are there, all those things are there, then we should get it in the structured format, or it should avoid the data cluttering and all those, so that we can read whatever warnings are there, right? And what kind of warnings which are there actually, or what is the error. So after importing this, we will get to, and we will be able to understand the errors over there, right? Then we will also import Plotly. It's not required, but we will keep it, so plotly.express as px, right? So this is required when we are doing some scatter plotting, or we are doing some different, dual axis charts and all those things. Then this kind of library is required for very much advanced, running and all those things, right? So now what we have to do is we have to run this. So for running this, either you can click on this particular run, shift enter. You can either press shift enter, or you can use this particular button also. I will just click on this, and you can see this has been running. Okay, whenever you see star over here, then it means that it has been running at the back end, and you cannot see any message that it has been ran successfully or anything, or output you won't get over here. If there is any error, you will definitely get it over here. But if everything is run fine, then you will just get this kind of screen only. It means that all the libraries are imported at the back end. You won't get any information of whatever has been ran in front of your screen. All right. So now next we will import our data now. So for importing the data, it is very much easy. And for importing the data, as I told you, we are going to make use of pandas library. So first I will just write that particular statement over here, and then I will explain. So I will use a data frame is equal to pd dot. So we are going to use, as I told you, what does PD mean over here? It is nothing but alias is provided over here. It is nothing but pandas library we are going to use to import the data, right? So temporary name we are going to use over here. So PD dot. So for that I will be using as read underscore CSV. So I am using a CSV file. If you are using Excel, to import it, you have to write read underscore Excel, right? And in double quotes. Now here what I will be doing, I will be adding my path of the data, right? So I will just close the data first, and I will click on no, don't save, and I will just open my data over here. So this is the data I have. So I hope you have downloaded the data and kept it in a folder. So from that particular folder, we are going to use the path of that particular file. So what I will do, I will just click over here, right click over here, and here I will just click on copy the path, right? So copy as path, and I will come to our file over here, and I will just paste it over here. Okay, so you can see it is automatically taking the path of that particular file, and you can see it has been automatically taken in double inverted commas, and that is how it should be, right? And when I run this particular query, you can see there is a warning over here, that syntax warning, that invalid escape, right? So that is nothing but this particular slash which is there, whether it is a backward or forward, we have to change this, and I will be using as forward slash over here. So change this particular slash as backward slash, and use forward slash instead of this, right? And just run this. And as soon as you do, you can see at backend the file has been imported. You won't get any message. If you don't get any warning message, and if you just run this shift enter, you can see the now the number is changed from 7 to 9. That is nothing but it has been ran at the backend. And you can see that, or we can say, the file has been imported at the backend, right? So this is how you import the file. All right. So now first what I will do, first I will just save this file our, and we will name it as pizza sales analysis project. I will just save the file first, and it is the IPNB file. So I'll just rename it. So this is the pizza sales analysis, and here we will also add the title for our notebook as well. So for that, in this particular cell, So right now here you can see there is code. So that is nothing but the code which you are writing. So I will change this to markdown. Okay. Once you add it as markdown, you can add different comments, different text over here. And the font size of this particular markdown text can be adjusted and or we can say it can be controlled by using hashtags. So the lower or the smaller number of hashtags you will be using, higher will be the size of the font, right? So let's say I'm using one single hashtag and I will name this project as pizza sales analysis. Okay. And same way, you just have to press Control Enter, and you can see this is how it runs. So if we have used single hashtag, if you use it twice, you can see the size has been reduced, right? So now from this particular arrow buttons, you can either take it at top or you can take it at bottom. So I'll just use these arrow buttons and I will take it at the top. So this is our is a sales analysis, and I will just make a copy of this again. So you can see plus you can make a copy of this, and I will take it down, and here I will add one more hash and I will name it as import raw data. So we will understand that what we are going to do over here. So in pizza sales analysis, this is where we import the raw data, and I will just use again one more copy of this, and I will now we have to just check the metadata, right? We will check the metadata of the data, right? Metadata of raw data. Okay, enter. So now it's the metadata. Okay, so now we will see the data which we have imported, whether it is imported correctly or whether not. We have to check that, right? So for that, we will fire some, Python code. So for that, first I will fire the data frame dot head. Okay, so I'll use head. So what this head will do, it will identify the first 10 or 5 rows which are there in the imported data. So first I will run this. As soon as I do, you can see it will identify the first 5 rows, and the number obviously will start from 0. Okay, then 1 and then 4, right? So 1 2 3 4 5. So these are the total number of rows which are being imported. And if you check our data also, so those will the first 5 rows. Okay, so if you can see this, these are the first 5 pizza IDs. You can see the same are being shown as an output over here. That is nothing but you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the first 5 pizza IDs. So this is the head of the data. That is nothing but at the start what the data looks like. And if you want to see end of the data, and if you want to see first 10 rows, you can just mention 10 over here. Okay, in this bracket, and you can just run this. You can see first 10 rows you will get over here. It depends what you want. By default, it will give you the first 5 rows. But if you want to see the number of datas in whatever number you want, you just have to add the number over here, right? Then we want to see the tail of the data. That I'll just hit tail and I will just run this. You can see the last 5 rows we will get. And if you see the out raw data also, if I bring it at the very end, you can see these are the last 5 rows, that is 616 up to 620. You can see from 616 to 620. So in this way we can say that all our data has been imported from start to end. And obviously here also, if you want to see last, let's say 15 rows, you just have to enter and you can see last 15 rows you will be able to see from here, right? So that is from 606 to 620. That is, those are the last 15 rows. All right. So this is how you see the header and the tail data of the this particular data. All right. Now we will identify the number of columns which are being imported and the number of rows which are being imported, right? So for that, what I will do, I will just write a code over here. I will use a print function. That is nothing but I want to print the output. So I will use print. Okay. And in double inverted commas, I will type the text what print I have to do. So the metadata of the data. Okay, set. Okay, I will add metadata of the data set and I will add one space. Okay, comma. Okay, so what it will do, it will print this text entire as it is, because we are using a print function. And in double inverted, we are writing the string. So whatever string we have to print, we have to write it in double inverted and comma. With that string, what else you want to print? So what we have to print is df dot shape. So this function will give us the number of rows and columns, or just df dot shape, whatever number of rows and columns are there, right? So you can see the metadata of the data sets has been printed as it is, and shape is nothing but how many rows are been there and how many columns are been there, right? The whichever data which we have imported through this particular df pd dot read underscore csv, right? You can see, as I told you in the raw data also, whenever we are having a walkthrough, these were the number of rows and these were the number of columns. So whatever data has been imported, which is correct and no data has been lost. So this is how you do it. All right. And if you just want to print the number of rows, you can do that also. For that, what I will do, I'll just copy this and paste this. Let's say you just want to print the number of rows itself. So just what you have to do is, in square brackets, you have to just add right here 0, and it will just show the number of rows over here. So you can see, you can mention here rows of the data set, right? Okay, so guys, if you want to also find out the columns of this particular data which we have imported, so what I will do, I will just copy this and I will paste it over here, and instead of rows we will name it as just columns. And here, instead of 0, what we will do, we will just add it over 1 and just run it. So whatever columns are there in our data set, those will be printed over here. If you want it into different codes, so that also you can do. All right. So now next thing what we will do, I will just run one more thing, that if you want to print the name of the columns which are there in the data set, right? So for that, what I will do, I will just run as columns. Okay, and just run this. Okay, so df dot columns, when I run it, so all type of or we can say all kinds of I can say column names or fields names which are there in our data, raw data which we have imported, those will be printed over here. You can see pizza id, order id, pizza name, and all those things. All right. So now next thing what I will do, I will just run as df dot info. Okay, and I will just hit enter. So when I run df.info, what it will do is it will give us all the information of I can say the columns which we have, how many non-null values it have. It will also give us the information of all the data types, right? And if you run only df.info instead of adding the curly brackets, and if you run this, so now this df.info, the data frame will give you all the column names you have and its data also, few kinds of data also you can see. So this is also one kind of way you can find out, and it will give you the number of rows and columns also. All right. And now let's say we want to find out now the data. So what I will do, I will just change this to markdown first, and I will add here as data types in raw data. Okay, and I will hit it, right? And now here I will run the code. For that, I will hit as df.d type. Okay, and just hit enter. So as I do df.d types, it will give us the data types of each and every column which is there in our data set. So based on that, you can see integer, object, float, right? If it is a perfect value, integer value without fraction, then it will be as integer 64. If it is an text, then it will give us an object. But if it is a value which is there in decimal points, then it will give us in the form of float, right? So these are all the data types which we have in our data. All right. And now next what I will do, I will run one more, that is df.describe. Okay, I will just run df.describe and I will add braces to it. Okay, so what we will do, we have run df.describe, and what this particular df.describe would do is for us is, it will give us all the measures which are there in our data, and it will give all the we can say the variables like count, minimum, average, standard, 25 percentile, 50 percentile, all those values will be mentioned over here, so which will be easy for us to find out what is the mean value, what is the extreme value, what is the maximum value, which is the value at 25%, which is the value at 50%, which is the value of 75%. So if you want to find out all those statistics of the data, then this will be the code which you will be learning, that or we were running, that is df.describe. All right. So this is how it gives us an initial analysis of this particular data, importing it, then bringing out and seeing the information if everything is correct, if the data is processed correct, if the values which are being imported, the fields, the rows, the columns which are imported. If you want to find out the information of that, you have to do in this way. Now, next thing what we will do is we have to do as per our problem statement. We will go ahead and fire the different code to get our output and desired value as per the BRD. All right. So now we will just add the name of the KPIs over here. That is nothing but the text. So I will just copy this. Sorry, Control Z. I will just delete this and I will just make a copy of this. I will just take it down and more down, and I will name it as KPIs. Okay, just name it as KPIs. Okay, and now here we will run our KPIs. So the code which we'll be writing to identify the all the KPIs over here. So just a second. Okay. So what we have to do is we have to find out total revenue, total pizzas sold, total orders, average order value, and average pizzas per order. So all these things we will run in one single code itself. So we have that ability in Python as well as in SQL. So we should use that. So I will just run everything in one single code itself. So for that I will be writing code for that is first what we will do. We will declare all the variables and then after that we will print them one by one, right? As per our convenience. So I will name it as total revenue. Okay. So I will use total revenue. Okay. So this is the first variable where I will use df dot. So how the total revenue would be found out is we know that it will be calculated based on the total price. So I will name here as total price. Okay. And dot, what should be the aggregation? Sorry. So the aggregation for this should be what we have to find out total revenue. So it should be sum, and I will just mention it as in sum, right? The same way how we will read. And if you run this particular, you can see df dot undetermined literal signal. So what we have to do is I will just add one more, and so it should not be dot first, right? And now when I run this, it has been ran, but it should be printed, right? So for that, what I will do, I'll print this output. So I will just use print function, print, and I will add as revenue. Okay, so you can see this is the total revenue, but we should have it in one proper formatted, right? So for that, first I will do what I will declare all the variables and then we will print everything, right? So first I will print what we next is what we want is total pizza sold. So I will name as one more variable that is total pizza sold. Okay, and I will declare it as df, and for here it is nothing but what is total pizza sold is nothing but total number of quantities been used, right? So we will use quantity, and please be assured that whatever the name is there of this particular field over here, exact should be written over there. If there is any spell mistake, then you will get an error over here that it is an invalid name, right? So for that I will just add it over here as quantity. Right, so this is quantity again. It will be sum only. We want sum of all the quantities, right? Next we will name as total orders. We want total orders after that. So total orders is nothing but, as I told you, this is the order ID we have. So we will take count of, or we have to take distinct count or unique value count of this, because you can see here some of the order IDs are repeated. So for that we have to take distinct count. So I will name df, and in square brackets I will name it as so df dot order id. So I will use order id, and we have to take unique values. I will use an unique for it, right? So an unique. So this is how you calculate the unique values in Python, or we can say count distinct of all those values, right? And then I have to find out average order value as well. So we know that average order value is nothing but it's you can see here in problem statement, average order value is nothing but total revenue divided by total orders. So this is nothing but I will just total revenue from here, and it will be divided by what total orders. That's it. Okay. And next what we have to find out is average, as per problem statement, is average pizzas per order, right? So I will find out average pizzas per order as well. And it is also again nothing but total pizza sold divided by total orders. So these are the total pizza sold divided by the total orders. Control C and Control V, right? So now we can see if I run this code at the end, we are just getting one output that is nothing but we have printed the total revenue itself, but we have to print all these values also. So for that, first in total revenue, here you can see the value which we are getting is correct, but what we have to do is we have to add a single, or we can say a dollar sign at the start, right? Then we also have to print a text over here that total revenue, it should be printed as total revenue, and we just want value up to 2 decimal points. So all those formattings we have to do over here. So for that, what I will do is I will be using f string, okay, and in double inverted commas, first I will write everything what I have to print. So f string is nothing but it is I can say it is a string, and it is a newly introduced string where you can just add a text as well, and you can add a Python code as well, right? In curly braces, whatever code you will be writing, it will be a Python code which will be dynamic, based on which it will print all those particular values over here, right? So I will name it as total revenue which we want to print, right? So this will be printed as it is. So this will be total revenue. Okay. And after that, I will add one, this particular colon over here, right? And whatever we write after colon will be printed as a dynamic. So we want a dollar symbol first, and in the curly braces now, I will name here as total revenue, right? So this is what we want, total revenue to be printed. Okay. And then I will add one more thing, that is again I will add a colon over here. So this will be totally printed, then this will be as a dynamic over here. So I will add a colon over here, and I will add one comma separator. Comma separator is nothing but it will be a thousand separator for this. So after thousand separator there will be a comma over here, right? So that is the thousand separator, and dot 2f I will add. So what does this mean? That after this particular value, there will, it should take only 2 decimal points. So that's the reason I have added dot 2f, 2 for decimal points and f for that particular value which has been printed. All right, I have closed this curly braces, and at the end I will just close this double inverted comma, and I will just close this as well. And when I run this, you can see now it is printed as total revenue. That is nothing but this is printed as it is. And after that, this is working as a dynamic. So whatever we write in this string, it will be printed. Well, it is taking the value from this, that is nothing but from this particular code, and it is printing it over here. The same way we have to do it for others as well. So I will just copy this. Okay, and now what I want to print here is, instead of total revenue, I want now total orders, right? But for total orders, we don't want it in for as currency as dollars, and we don't want decimal points also after that. So we'll just remove this dot at decimal point, but we want thousand separator. That's it we want. You can see we have run this, but you can see the value is taken as total revenue instead of we want total pizzas sold. So we'll paste it over here, and now I will run. You can see these are the total orders, nothing but total pizzas sold. Or we can say it should be what total pizzas sold. So instead of total orders, it should be total pizzas sold, right? So these are total pizzas sold. Similar way, I'll just copy this, paste it over here, and this will be total orders now. Okay. So this will be total orders, and instead of this, I will just paste it over here, and I will just run this. So now you can see these are total orders. Similar way, I will paste it over here, Control Z, Control C, Control V, and now what I want to print is average order value. So I'll name it as average order value. Okay. And instead of this, we want average order value to be printed over here. And obviously, average order value, it is nothing but it should be having a currency as dollar over here. I will add a dollar symbol and dot 2f also, because we just want it for 2 decimal points. And now I will run this. You can see average order value. Okay. And again, I will copy this, paste it over here. And instead of this, now last we want average pizzas per order. So I'll just copy this from here and paste it over here, right? So this is average pizzas per order we want, and instead of this we want this value, and we'll paste it over here, and just we want it for 2 decimal points only. And I will run this. You can see this is average pizzas per order. So from here, this is how it is simple to get all those KPIs in one single DAX. Sorry, not DAX. I'm very sorry, not a Power BI, but in one single Python code. That is by using this, right? Determine all the variables, and then insert those variables in print function, so that you want the desired output in that particular way, you will get it, right? So you can see the total revenue of entire thing is 817 million, we can say. Not it's 8.17 million, that is 817k dollars. Total pizzas sold are, you can see it is 49,574 pizzas are being sold, and total orders are 21,350. Order value is 38. Average order value, one order, or we can say one average order value is $38, which is good. And average pizza sold in one order are 2.3. So around 2 to 3 pizzas are being sold in each and every order. Getting or not? So this is how you find out all the KPIs. Alright guys, so now for charts requirement, I will just copy this and I will just take it down and I'll just name it as charts. Okay. And in charts, the first thing what I have to do is I will just name it as markdown and I will use 3 times. And the first analysis that we have to do in charts requirement is ingredient analysis. So I'll just copy this and I will paste it over here and hit enter, right? One more hash. Okay, so now first we'll do ingredient analysis. And what do we mean by ingredient is, if you see here, it for each pizzas, these are the list of ingredients that are being used. So what we have to do is, out of all the pizzas which we have, right, all the sold pizzas, which is the most used ingredient, and we have to find out the count of that. And here you can see those ingredients are right now comma separated in each particular cell for that particular pizza. So what we have to do is, we have to do the for that particular or say that comma separated values, we have to extract those, create it in the column format or in the row format, and after that we have to find out the count of that, right? So for that, I will just write the first value as, or we can say we will I will just enter the first variable. So first ingredient, we will just find out that ingredient, and I will write the complete analysis first. Okay, and then I will explain you what's happening. Okay, so first I will just open parenthesis and here I will write. So I will just enter the first data frame, that is nothing but we will enter that particular ingredient which we have to use, and that is nothing but this value. Okay, so this is the field value that we are going to use. I will paste it over here. Okay, and after that, what we have to do here is, I will just go to next line. Okay, and here I will just mention that dot .str dot split function I will use. Okay, and what we have to split is comma. Okay, so what this do is actually, when you have this particular value, that is nothing but when you take this particular column, what we have to do is we have to split that particular column, and the split is what, with respect to comma separated. You can see we have to split that particular as comma separated, and str here is nothing but it allows the string operation in pandas, right? So because this df is a pandas variable, so the data frame in pandas, and that we have to operate, or we have to do the operation on string, so that we have to use dot str and we are splitting it. And then I will use dot explode. Okay, so by using explode, what we are doing is, we are turning each element of that particular list into a separate row, or we can say we are creating a new column. So each of this ingredient will be created at separate rows. So the first ingredient will be here, second will be here, and third will be here. It will do for all of these particular rows, right? Now next, what we have to do here is, after that I will use dot str dot strip. Okay, so I will use a strip function. Okay, what does this do is, if there are any white spaces in that particular text which has been generated in the form of new column as new rows, it will remove all those that we can say that strings, or we can say that white spaces, any white spaces at the start or end of that particular string. Okay, then we will use value. Okay, value underscore count. Okay, and I will use this particular. I mean, what does this do is, it counts the frequency of each unique record, right? Or we can say in each unique ingredient. So whatever we have exploded, we have splitted, exploded, and after that it will count all those particular values. All right. Now I will use reset dot index. Okay. So this will reset all the particular index. That is nothing but all the numberings will be given to that particular index, right? So with respect to new column will be created. So it will give the numberings to that particular index like 1, 2, 3, 4, likewise in that way, right? And it will do it in the descending format, right? Then we will rename all the columns, okay, whichever columns which are being generated. So I will rename all the columns is equal to, okay, and I will open parenthesis. So here we will rename all the columns. So first is index column which we created over here. Okay, so I will index, I will rename the we have to write the column, so it I will rename the index to ingredients. Okay, I will rename this to ingredients. Okay, comma, and the pizza ingredient, nothing but this particular column which was generated initially as a part of, we can say, the first column, which is an already mentioned column that we will name to, because we have converted that to count. So I will name that to count. Okay, so this is what we have done. We'll close this bracket, and I will close this bracket because that's what we are closing. Okay, and then I have to print. Okay, what I have to print is, I will use print function, and I want what? Ingredient, right? So this particular I have to print dot head, and I want 10. Okay, so it's saying there is an error, series object has no aptitude dot reset. So now we are getting this particular error. So here it says that dot object dot is getting abbreviated. So attribute reset. Okay, so here reset. Okay, so here it should be underscore. So I will just mention here underscore, and now I will run this. Okay, so now you can see it is successfully ran. And after this, if you can see, out of all the ingredients which are used for different pizzas, garlic is the most used one. But here you can see the counts, and here also you can see count. That is, what does it mean? That the headings are incorrect. So in pizza ingredient, here it is ingredient. So what we will do, we'll mention this as ingredient, and here we'll mention as count. Okay, and then I will run this. So now when you run it, you can see here this has been ingredients. So these are the ingredients which are being used most, and we have just seen top 10. If you want to see top 5, you can just run 5. Okay, if you want to see top 15, okay, you can see 15 also, right? So which are the most ingredients that are being used for that ordered pizzas when the pizza is in making. Okay, so you can see garlic is the most, then tomatoes, red onions, red peppers. So based on this, what insight can be taken is, for that particular store, these are these particular ingredients that should be available in full, so that there won't be any shortage, and the process of making pizza won't stop, right? So this is very important. So this is the insight which can be taken to have all of these top 5 or top 10 ingredients in the list. All right. So this is how you find out the ingredient analysis. All right, guys. So now next we will move ahead with our next requirement. And if you see, what we have to do is we have to find out daily trend. Okay. So now daily trend for which particular measure? So first we will find out it for the total orders. Then we will also find out it for the total revenue. So first we will find out it for total orders. So I'll just copy this, and this particular thing I will make a copy. I will take it down. Okay, and I will paste it over here. Okay, daily trend, and I will name it first for total orders. Okay, and now if you see, I have already wrote that particular code over here. So this code I will add in the description box from where you can download and you can use these codes. But I would recommend you to write this code by yourself, so it will go below your hands and you will learn new things, right? And understand it also, right? So I will just copy this and I will paste it over here first. Okay, and I will explain you what this code actually means and how it works, right? So now daily orders, if you see in this particular data, the data which we have order date over here, right? But from this particular order date, we have to extract the day name, because we have to find out daily trend. That is from Monday to Sunday. What are the trends of the pizzas which are being ordered? So for that, first what we have to do, from here we have to extract the day name from here, right? And for that we have written this entire code. So first what we have done is, first we have taken the order date is equal to PD. PD is nothing but we are using the pandas to make some operations on this. And to date time is a function which is converting this particular order date, because if you see at the start and if you see the data type of this particular order date over here, it is object, right? It is not a date data type, right? It is considered as an object or a text data type. So what it is considering that it is converting this data time or date time to, or you can say it is converted this to date time, and this order date is converted to a date time format, and comma day first is equal to true. What does it mean? That in our data you can see day is first, right? So 1/1/2015. So here Python may get confused whether this one is month or this one is month. So we have to guide it. So we have guided it that the day first is true, nothing but the first value here which is there, it is a day value, right? So that's the reason day first is equal to true. And after that, what we are doing, we are extracting the day name from here. You can see from here we have extracted the day name. That is, we are getting the values as Monday to Sunday, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and all that. So once it has been extracted, pandas, when you are giving an output, it will give an output based on the alphabetical order of the days. But we don't want in that way. We want in the sequence of how the week works. So we have mentioned our specified our own order, that is from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So we have entered everything over here, right? So this value which has been extracted, we have put over here. And after that, what we have done is we are applying that particular values over here, that is categorical value, because it is a categorical value, and category is what? Week order, and order is equal to true, means it should follow this particular order. Next, now the order by day here, from here are actually plotting starts, right? We have to create the data for this. So we are using a group by function on which, that is nothing but on day name, that is this day names created. Observed is equal to false. Why I have added this statement over here is because if let's say there are some days where there were no orders, right? There were zero orders, zero sales. Still, I want that particular in output, even though there are zero values for that day. That's the reason I've added observed is equal to false, right? Then we are taking order ID, and it's what we are taking, that is we are grouping it on days, and on which measure, that is order ID and unique. We have to take unique count, that is nothing but count distinct of those. And at that last, we have to nothing but we have to plot everything. So we are using plot, that is as I told you, we will be using matplotlib for this, that is plt. We are what kind of thing, plot will be bar. Figure size is nothing but what should be the size of figure that output we want in. Then color of that particular bar, and edges color is nothing but it should be the edge of that particular bar, what should be that color in. Then what should be the plot title, that is total orders by day of week. What should be the label of X and what should be the label of Y, and what should be the text rotation, nothing but the names which will be written on X axis, what should be the rotation of that, it is in 45 degrees. And this is nothing but to apply the data labels on our a graph. So I is nothing but iteration of after each value, what should be the iteration given. Value plus 20 is nothing but for a graph. Let's say a bar is created, it should be not at the bar, at exactly on the bar. So 20 distance up on that particular bar, the value should be printed. Then string str value is nothing but that particular value will be there. Then hs center is horizontally and vertically it should be center, where then font size is 9 and font width is bold, right? So we want it is a bold, and then tight layout and show. And when I run this particular value, you can see I'm getting that particular, right? So this particular in this particular way we are getting the output. So from Monday to Sunday, these are the days, and then these are the total orders of that pizza. So if you carefully look over here, you can say like Thursday, Friday, and Saturday are the days when maximum number of pizzas are being sold. Sunday usually should be higher, but it is less. We can see the reason behind that is that particular store it might be located near to the corporate offices, and we have holidays on most of the time on Sundays, and that's the reason it might be a lower side of sales might be there on Sundays, right? So this is how you create. So this is for total order. So what I will do, I will copy this entire thing and I will make it as for total revenue. Okay. And now we will find it for revenue. I will just copy this entire code and I will paste it over here. So now just one thing that we have to change over here is, instead of having a here instead of order ID, we want it for for total sales. So we'll just name it as total sales. That is the column we have in our data. And instead of this, we want sum of it, right? And we'll just run this, right? So it's giving an error forward. So let's see what's the error. So one second. Column not found, total sales. Let's see. Total price. So it's total price, not total sales. So I'll name it as price. And now I'll run this. So you can see we are getting the values, but still it should be not total orders. It will be total revenue. Okay, by the day of week. And the Y label should be not number of orders. It should be total revenue. Okay. And instead of having green color, let's make it as purple. Okay, and now we'll run this. You can see this is how you get an output as, right? And you can also change these data labels to have this in the form of thousands, or you can add a dollar format also over here, right? So for that you have to make changes in this particular statement, right? So I will leave it up to you how you do that, right? So just try different ways and you will get that particular values over here. All right. So you can do the same thing for total quantities also. So I recommend you to change the code and find it for the total quantity also. Like how is the with respect to that, how we get that particular results. And from here clear you can see Thursday, Friday and Saturdays are the 3 days where most number of sales are been done. And you can say Sunday is the lowest one. All right. And so it gradually increases from Monday, drops on Sunday, right? So this is how it is. And you can, as I told you, for this particular, what analysis can be done, what insights can be taken, the same would be for total revenue also. All right. So after doing the day of the week, that is the weekly trend, we will move ahead with our next problem statement. That is nothing but we will move with hourly trend, right? So for hourly trend, what I will do first, so I'll just copy this and I will add the text over here, and instead of daily I will make it as hourly. Okay, and by total orders, right? So first we'll find with total orders, and I will leave it up to you on how to do it for the total revenue, because I've already told you how to do it over here. So it will be repetitive task for me, so you do it on your own so that you will be also learning how to do it. All right. So for this also I have already wrote the code over here, so I will just copy this and I will paste it over here. Okay, and now I will explain you how it actually works. It is same as we wrote for the daily trend. So what happens in hourly trend is, so first again what we do is we have taken the order time, all right, and then we have converted that with the help of pandas, you can see PD, to date time. So that first the order time, that particular that particular column is now first converted to the date format, and after that we are identifying that particular format as time, right? So we have to convert that to time, then we have to convert it to format that it's a 24-hour format. That is nothing but percentage h, percentage m, and percentage s is nothing but hour, minute and second. After that what we will do is we will extract the hour from that, right? So whatever the time we have, if you see in this, the time is in the 24-hour format. So from here what we will do is we will extract that particular hour from that. So for this you can see 11:38, 36 is nothing but 12 o'clock, right? And similar way you can do all of this, right? So this is the afternoon 12, this is the afternoon 2 o'clock, and likewise. So this will be afternoon 1 o'clock, right? So all of this we will convert it into that particular hour. And after that, what we will do is we will do our general process, right? So order by hour is nothing but we will group by. So using group by, what we will do, all those hours which are formed, we will make it as observed is equal to false. This is nothing but whichever hour, if there is no order in those particular hours, if it falls in that particular range, then it will be still shown in the diagram or in the graph with the zero value, right? And because we are finding it for order ID and we are taking the count, so in Python we use it as an evening. And then nothing we have to do, or we have to just plot that particular figures or that particular graph by using a bar chart. The figure size, the color is maroon, and everything is the black, right? That is, edges are black. Then we are going to have the title of that chart. That is nothing but this is the title, this is the X label, X-axis label, this will be the Y-axis label, and this is X-tick. That is nothing but rotation is equal to 0. If you have to add, you can add it, or you can remove also this from this statement. Again, as I told, this will be used just to add the labels on that particular bars, right? And this is the tight layout, that it should not move away from that particular mentioned size, and it should show everything in that, and at last we will show that particular thing. And I will just hit run button. As soon as you do this, you can see that our graph has been created, total hours by the day, number of orders, and hours by 24 hours. So you can see the shop is been operating from morning 9 to evening, or we can say midnight. All right. So these are the times from the for that. And if you see the trend carefully, so at morning, or you can see from 11 to afternoon 1, the pizza orders are high, right? So from here it is rising till here, then it goes down here, and again here it will rise up, right? So from let's say from evening 4 o'clock, it will rise again till 18 is nothing but evening 6 or 7 o'clock, and up till 8 o'clock, and then it goes down again, right? So this is how the we can say analysis can be done, and insights can be taken from here. Getting or not? So this is very much important, and insights can be taken so that all the inventories can managed in this particular hours of the day, and the staff can be also managed, so that the owner can decide that at what time they should be given and lunch break or any other breaks, and at what time they should focus on their work and grab more and more customers, right? So this is how we have added this particular for total orders, and I recommend you to do it for total sales also, or total revenue also. I have told you what you have to change. You have to just change this particular thing over here, and you have to change the titles also here, right? So this is how it works, and this is for hourly trend. That is nothing for total orders. Now we'll copy this again, and as per our problem statement, what we have to do is we have to find out the monthly trend now, right? So I'll just change this, and I'll just change this to monthly trend. Okay. And we'll find it for total orders. Same thing, everything will be same, just the code will be twisted somewhat. So I'll just copy this. Okay, what we did for daily trend, it's the same code that we will be using it for here. So everything is same. We will convert the order date first into proper date data type, and day first is equal to true, because this is required over here to identify which is the month, right? Here you can see 1/1/2015. So Python will get confused which is the day and which is the month. So day first is nothing but it will understand that this is the day first. That is nothing but the first number over here in our date, it is considered as day, and second will be the month, right? So in this way how you do it, and after that what we will do, we will extract the month, right? So from this particular order date, by using this particular code, we will extract the months, and then we have to order the month, because by default in Python it will show us the chart in the form of alphabetical order. We want in our standard calendar year how the months are being arranged over there. So in that way, we have just mentioned that it should be arranged in this particular order, right? And then we are applying the month order so that everything should be shown. That ordered is equal to true is nothing but everything should be available in this particular order itself. Then we are applying our standard statement by, that is by using group by, which is required by all these particular months which are mentioned, that all values should be grouped. Observed is equal to false is nothing but it should show all those months even though they do not have any values in their data, or in that particular month if there is any sales which is not done, it should still show in that particular output, right? And order ID, because we are finding it for total orders. And next is nothing but we are showing it with respect to this is shown for as a line graph, right? Or we are creating an area chart So for area chart, this is the matplotlib code that we have to write, right? So fill between is nothing but order by, and in between whatever from area line chart to the bottom x-axis, whatever it should be, that it should be filled with that particular colors that is been mentioned, and this is nothing but the the line chart what has been created, right? The width of that and what should be the marker should be mentioned as over. O is nothing but zero, a round marker will be shown over there, and then nothing but the title we're adding an X label, Y label, and what should be the X ticks. And this is, as I told you, it will be an iteration kind of for loop which will be used to just add the labels on each and every you can say area chart data points, right? And then write layout and show, and I will just run this now. So after you see it has run this particular chart, and we are getting the total orders by month from January to December, correct? So if you look carefully in this particular chart, you can see the orders are pretty same, just fluctuating somewhere. So if you take a look on this particular graph, it is considered as just a very small change in each and every month. Just in September and October, they are drastically came down, right? So we can find out the reason for those, and whatever there were, whenever there will be some festival seasons, right, from November, December, and January, in US, United States, it is considered as a festive season. So in those particular months, uh, the pizza owner can run some discounts. He can do some promotions because people usually order foods from outside, and so he can increase his business in those particular days. All right. So this is how you do in the order by month. And now we will move ahead with our next problem statements. All right, so now let's move ahead with our next problem statement. That is, we have to find out the percentage of sales by category. So I will just copy this. I will just take it down and we'll paste it over here, right? So we are going to find out the percentage of sales by pizza category. So this is very simple. Okay, so we already have the pizza category over here. If you see into our data, so this is the pizza category that we have. There are different values available for this. So I'll just control T and I'll convert it into table. So if you see, there are chicken, classic, supreme, and veggie. So these are the four types of pizza category we have, and based on that only we are going to write a code. So I've already written a code over here and I will explain it. So it won't waste my time in writing and everything. I will just copy it and I will just try to paste it over here. All right. So now just let's crack this particular code, what exactly has been written. So first I have just finding out the category wise sales, right? Because we have the pizza category, so I will group by, because see, whatever we are finding out, we have to group by and create a new table so that you will get in first row all the pizza category and in front of that all the sales. So those sales should be grouped by with those pizza category. That's the reason we are using group by, and with group by always remember that should be an aggregation used. So here what we are doing, we are grouping it on pizza category, and because we have to find it the total sales, I am using total price over here. That's the column which is available in our data, and we are taking sum. That's the aggregation we are using, right? But because we have to find out the percentage of sales, we are taking category wise sales over here. That is nothing but this will be the category wise sales. So for each pizza category you will get those sales over here, and we are dividing it by the total sales, right? So here you can see category sales, and then we are taking the sum of that. That is nothing but total sales, the sales of all the categories we are dividing it by, and then we are multiplying it by 100 so that we are getting the percentage value at the output, right? So this will take the value from here, and this will take the its own value that is at higher level, that is at categories of all the four pizzas and the sum of all of them, right? And then we are just using a plot, that is figure size is mentioned over here, and then we are just creating a color palette over here, right? So that's the reason I've added a comment over here, that it is giving us the color palette, so that a natural color palette will be given to each and every wedge in that particular donut chart. And this is nothing but used to plot the donut chart, right? So it's a part of pie chart only. So we are taking a pie chart, and at center we are applying one a hole over there, and then we are just giving a title and all those. And when I run this, you can see you are getting a nice donut chart. So if you want to reduce the size of it, you can do it. I will do it by 5 by 5, right? And now here you can see that this is a donut chart which is created, and out of this you can see classic is the type of pizza which is, or category of pizza which is sold the most. Then next is supreme, then is the chicken, and then is the veggie. But if you see the overall number, each and every pizza is sold um, almost equivalent numbers, right? No pizza is at very much high level as compared to other, right? There is a gap of only 2 or 3 percentage between the lowest and the highest one. All right. So this is how you analyze the percentage of sales by the category. All right. Now next what we have to do is we have to move ahead with our next problem statement. All right. So as per our next problem statement, what we have to do is we have to find out the percentage of sales by pizza size and category now. Okay. So now here we will just try to create a heat map. Okay. So for that, what I will do, I will just convert this to markdown, and I will add push. Okay. So this is what we are going to do, that is sales by pizza size and category. And for this, I will be using this particular code. So I will just paste it over here. All right. So what we are doing here is first we are creating a dummy table into our Python. And for that, I will be using a sales pivot over here. So first, let me run this code so then it will be able to understand, right? So this is what we are creating. This is called as a heat map. So on in rows, you can see there is a pizza category, and here you have the size. Okay, on y-axis you have a size that is nothing but in columns, and for each and every combination we have the percentage of that particular pizza sold by size and category. All right. So first what we have to do is we have to create this kind of pivot first so that it can be shown in the output. So for that, what we are doing, we are using a pivot table function over here, and we are using the index as pizza category. Nothing but the vertical index should be shown as a pizza category, and the columns should be shown as pizza size, right? So you can see the index is pizza category, columns are shown as pizza size, and then value should be total price, right? So whatever values here you are seeing, it should be total price. But what we are doing is aggregating it into sum. So whatever values first we are showing, it is aggregated for each sum for this pivot table. And fill value is 0. What is mean by fill value is 0? Let's say for veggie, for Excel, there is no value over here. So it will give as a 0 value over here. So wherever we are not seeing any value assigned to for that combination, say for chicken, there is no pizza being sold in the double XL format. So it should show 0 over here. So that's the reason fill value is equal to 0. Now further what we are doing is sales percentage, because we have to find out the percentage. What I have done is sales pivot value. So whatever value you get from here, that is sales pivot, it is divided by the total sum, right? That is nothing but we are taking the sum, and here you can see this first sum is nothing but it will take the value in this particular manner, right? So it will take some value for this, it will take some value for this, it will take some value for this and for this. So each value it will take individually and divided, and dot again sum it has been taking, means what, it will sum all the values in this entire column, right? So for L, it will take a sum of entire column, here also entire column, here also entire column. It is nothing but it will take sum of entire pivot table. It is dividing it by sum of entire pivot table. Let's say for this particular value, so let's say 12.5. How we get this? So this value, okay, sales pivot dot sum will give us the sales of this particular value, and this entire value, okay, that is nothing but, sorry, sales pivot will give us this value, and this entire sum dot sum will give us the sales of this entire table over here. So we are dividing it by and multiplying by 100. So here we are getting 12.5 percentage. This is how it works, right? So I hope you are understanding. And then we are plotting this in the form of a heat map. And here you can see we are using a SNS, right? So that's the advanced Seaborn Python library we are using, which is based on Matplotlib itself. But if you want to do advanced charts, then we are using an SNS, right, with combination with Matplotlib, right? Then we are creating a heat map showing these values, right? Not is equal to true means what? Just show the values over here. And fmt dot 1f is nothing but show at one decimal point. cmap, you can see is yl, or, and red. It is nothing but yellow, orange, and red. So in this way, they will show us the value, the yellow being the lowest, orange being the mid, and red should be the highest value. And the line width is 0.5 is nothing but in between you can see the white lines are there. It's width, right? And then nothing but we are showing the title of this. Y label is nothing but this pizza category. X label is this. That is nothing but pizza size. And then we are showing it. Very simple, right? So this is how you create it. And by looking at this particular figure and an output, you can create an insight from here that veggie with L size and chicken with L size. And we can say with L size, all the pizzas are sold at higher level. Then second highest will be all the pizza categories with medium size, and all the pizza categories with 8.5. Like classic is one only which is sold most in the small size. All other with XL and double XL pizzas, those are, I think so. We can take an insight that those are very least sold, or sometimes they are not sold at all, right? So this can be the insight. So XL and double XL, you can just neglect, or we can say the less preference can be given to these kinds of pizzas, and ingredients required for this kind of pizzas can be kept low, because oven which they will be using for creating this kind of pizza will be also taking more and more space. So, they just have to focus more on large, medium, and small pizzas, right? So, I hope this is how it works, and you might have understood also, right? Now, let's move ahead. We have to find out total pizzas sold by pizza category, right? So, for that, what we will do, I will just copy this code from here, okay, and I will paste it, and I will just change this, right? And here we will try to create a column chart, right? Or we you can also create a graph, right? Or also we can say a horizontal bar chart. So I'll just copy this and I will paste it over here. It's very simple because we want pizza by category. Again, we have to group it by pizza category, and here we have to use total pizza sold, nothing but we want quantity over here now. And we will take sum of this, and then colors. What I'm doing here is I'm using multiple colors for different pizza categories, right? So each pizza category will have each color. That's the reason I have wrote these two particular codes over here. It is not required. If you want, you can remove it from here. If you want to give one single color, you can do that, right? And then we are giving axis, and you can see color. I'm passing the colors from here, right? That is nothing but use multiple colors. And other is the same thing that we use for bar chart, which is very simple. And when you see, you can see each pizza will be given different color. That is category will be given a different color. It is not required actually, but if you want, you can do it. If you don't want, you can actually remove it from here. So I will just remove it from here, and color I will give here as red. Okay, and I will run this. So it's giving a error for me. So I will just add it into double invertex. Now you can see here, it just giving it in me to me in one single color, right? So this is how you do it, right? So if you want to keep it simple, you can do it, but just to do something new and to show something in the form of new way, I've just shown you in this particular way. All right. So now next we will move ahead with our um, further problem statement. All right, so now next problem statement that we have is we have to find out top 5 best selling pizzas, and it will be by revenue, sales, and quantity. So I will just do it for revenue, and we can say this should be not sales, it should be orders. So I will name it as orders, right? So it will be for revenue, orders, and quantity, and for other you have to do it on your own, right? So I will just show you how to do it, and we have to create a horizontal bar chart, right? So I will just copy this, and first I will just create a copy of this over here, bring it down, and I will just paste it over here. So top 5 best selling pizzas, right? And first I'll mention it by total orders. Okay. So this will be a total order. So for that I've already wrote the code. I will just copy this. It's very simple. I will paste it over here, right? So what we are doing is first pizza by name, right? So we already have the pizza name over here in our data. If you see, here we have a pizza name. So these are all kinds of pizza we have. There are multiple pizzas available. We have to find out the top five and the bottom five so that it will be helpful for us to identify which are the hero pizzas and which are the worst pizzas selling, right? In terms of order and in terms of sellings, right? So first we are finding it for total quantities. I will just mention for total quantity or total orders we can say total pizza sold I can say, right? So because we are finding it for quantity over here, so pizza by name is nothing but first we'll group by with pizza name, quantity and everything else. Now just one thing here is important, that is top five. For that what I'm doing is pizza by name, the same value is been passed over here. First we will sort all those value in ascending as false, right? So here we are using ascending as false, nothing but if it is false then nothing but it will show it in the form of a descending order, and head is fine, nothing but whenever we are getting created that particular table in ascending as a false, that is in descending order, just show the top five records. That's the reason we are using this. And then the general process of showing a bar chart, nothing but we are plotting it based on this particular value, that is top five, bar chart, figure size, color and ages color, and then title, X label, Y label and X tick. And this is nothing but to mention the data labels. And just now I will run this. As soon as you do, you can see these are the top five pizzas sold, nothing but the classic deluxe pizza is the most sold, and the next one is in the at fifth number is the Thai chicken pizza. So these pizzas whichever you see, these are the hero pizzas based on the quantity. All right, so you can do the same thing again. I will just copy this, I will take it down. So total pizzas sold based on total orders also, right? So for that what I will do, I will just copy this from here, Control C, and I will paste it over here. So instead of quantity, what it should be order ID, right? Order ID, and instead of sum, it should be what? N unique, because we want to find out the you know count distinct, right? So this is the top five pizzas sold. Instead of this, we can mention top five pizzas ordered, right? And I will just run this, right? So these are the top five pizzas ordered in terms of order ID, or we can say in terms of orders, which are the most ordered pizzas. Same classic deluxe will be the same, which will be the most orders. So if you want to change the color, you can change it from here. I will name it as violet, right? So you can see we are giving the violet color for here. Now same thing you can do it. I will just copy this, and first I will take this down, and it will be in terms of total sales, right? And I will just paste it over here, right? And instead of this, I will name it as total price, because we have to find it for total revenue, right? And here top five pizzas, we'll name it by revenue. Okay, and run this, right? So you can see these are the top five pizzas based on total revenue, guys. All right, and if you want, this will be what? Sum. This should be sum, because we are finding it for sum. Okay, so this is the top five pizzas based on some. S should be small over here, and if you want you can change the color, let's say orange. Okay, so it will be in orange color. So this is how you do it for top five. The same kind of thing we will do it for bottom five also, right? So we'll name it as bottom five pizzas based on total sales only we will keep it, and for other two, that is for quantity and order, I will ask you to do it, right? So for bottom I will just copy this, I will paste it here. So for bottom five what I am doing here is pizza name, just we are only sorting it in the ascending value, right? So first what we will do, first I will just take this value from here. Okay, right? So first we are showing it for pizza by name. So first we are taking pizza by name, then I'm taking bottom five and I'm ascending it in, or showing it in the ascending order, right? So now here what I'm just doing is ascending is equal to 2 for bottom five. That is nothing but we are keeping it in the ascending order. So you will get the lowest value at the top and then in the increasing order. In descending, it happens in the reverse way. And we are showing the top 5 values. Just one statement will change, ascending is equal to true. Everything else will remain same. You can see this is the worst pizza, that is pre-curry pizza, and the fifth worst is the spinach pesto pizza. So these are the pizzas which are the least sold. Getting or not? So in this way, how you do it, if you want, you can change the color code. I have kept it brown. So this is I've done it for total sales. I recommend you to do it for total orders and total pizza sold also in the same way. Just you have to change this thing and you have to change the name over here. Right. So this will be total, not pizza sold, but it should be total. Here it should be total revenue. X-axis also we have to change, and here it should be bottom 5 total pizza sold. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so this is how we do it, and I hope you have understood. And based on our problem statement, you can see everything is bit done, and then at the end what you have to do is we have to answer these business questions, which I have already told you. What is the total revenue generated? You can show it from here. These are the only few business questions. Actually, you have to answer more. So you can see the total revenue generated. We have already created a chart over here, that is nothing but KPIs we have found out. So this is the total revenue generated, how many pizzas were sold, which category is performing best. I have already told you. So everything, all the trends over here whichever are mentioned over here is been shown in our data or whatever we have created as in Python output. Then what is deliverable, that we have to share the Jupyter notebook with complete Python analysis. So for that, you just have to go into file and you can just click on download. So it will be downloaded over here. You can share this particular Python file with your customer. You have to share all the visualizations. You have to share all the BRD also, whatever been used. If there is any change in BRD, if any requirement is not feasible to do, then you have to show the BRD again to all the stakeholders and to all the customers, and also the insights which are being generated from here. So you have to create a document out from here, that what are the insights generated as per your opinion. What is the insights generated? You have to share it with client either in the form of document or in the form of PPT, and you have to present also sometimes in front of them. And then what is the conclusions, that is what is the focus marketing or high performance categories, what can be done to optimize the menu card, what are the inventory plans, what should be the staffing based on the sales peaks, how to monitor different KPIs regularly through the dashboard for the continuous improvement, right? So these are a few conclusions and recommendations that you have to give to your customer and your stakeholder. So this is the complete analysis, and I hope you have understood everything. And so this is the complete project that we have done, and I hope you have learned so many things from here. You can add it in your portfolio, and it is for both data scientists and data analyst people who are studying these courses. And I will see you in the next one, guys, with a new project. Till then, bye bye and happy learning.